Hey guys, how you doing? It's Dom here from the Gimme Wrestling podcast. I've got 3 reasons for you today why Golberg should go over Bray Wyatt at Super Showdown. WrestleMania is coming up. Of course, Bill Goldberg is sadly a bigger draw than Wyatt, and I'm sure that more people want to see Roman Reigns go over Bill at Mania, currently in the ratings, than Bray Wyatt at the Showcase of the Immortals at Wrestlemania. The match is pretty much a box office mega smash, whether it goes 5 or even 10 minutes. It's a shame. Obviously, I'm a super fan of Bray Wyatt. People can watch the podcast, listen to the podcast and find that out. But I think that they are going to go with Bill Goldberg here because WrestleMania is struggling to sell out. They need more tickets. They need the megastars like Edge and Goldberg to sell those tickets. And Bill Goldberg, whether he can go or not, and different people say different things, will sell more tickets. Second reason is, of course, the ratings. The ratings have been down on Raw and SmackDown. There was a big spike when Bill came back, and I think that that's going to play into their decision come Super Showdown. Of course, Super Showdown plays a big thing into it. People will recognize Goldberg in Saudi Arabia too, and that may also influence the decision to have Bray lose to Bill. In terms of the ratings, this is a massive showdown, no pun intended, and it will generate massive amounts of money for both WWE and its Saudi investors, and of course potentially big money when Goldberg then faces Roman Reigns, which I think is scheduled to happen. Roman Reigns is currently scheduled to go against the Fiend, but we'll see what happens when WrestleMania comes around. Obviously, Goldberg and Reigns would potentially be, I think it would be a bigger box office draw, as much as I do like Bray Wyatt, and they could potentially then do Balor Demon return to face the Fiend then. But it would be a sad end, of course, in my opinion, to Bray Wyatt's title reign. Finally, Bray Wyatt, the third reason I'm going to give you is Bray Wyatt needs to heal. We haven't seen anything of that heel glove and that heel part of the Fiend's personality, and I think that obviously the ratings in terms of YouTube views and stuff are always good, always steady for the Fiend and the Firefly Funhouse stuff. Not Goldberg high, which again, goes back to the ratings thing. I think Goldberg will always get more views than Wyatt and the Firefly Funhouse. But yeah, I think that we need to see a bit more of this heel thing from Bray Wyatt, and more of that as we go forward. I think there's definite legs in the Fiend's heel persona, in terms of almost like a good guy thing, almost like a face option. So the heel glove represents a face option where he heals opponents. That gives the character more longevity. Some people are calling it goofy, some people are calling it overdone, but I think that the heel aspect would give it more dynamics and a much needed dynamic, perhaps post WrestleMania, to be fair, because I think that if they were going to do Balor versus the Fiend, it would need to be Balor being the face. But we'll see what happens. So yeah, I think that would be, just looking at my notes here, I think that's going to be a really positive thing if we can see more of Bray Wyatt healing opponents and being, almost, whether he's a face or there's another dynamic to it, and he takes people on as a faction, like another Wyatt family. Maybe he heals people and then they join his Wyatt family or new Wyatt family, or the Fiend's Funhouse or something like that. So I think that the third reason why Goldberg might win at Super Showdown is so that they can bring this extra dynamic to the Fiend, so that he can start healing opponents, whether that be as a face or bringing them into a faction. And I think it would give more dynamic to the Fiend character post WrestleMania. We would then see, the 3 faces of Foley. We would see, the Funhouse Bray without the mask. We could see this face good guy version of the Fiend, and perhaps the evil version as well. I'm not sure how they would do that, but I think that the Fiend going around healing WWE superstars would be a really interesting dynamic post WrestleMania. So yeah, those are 3 reasons why I think Goldberg will go over the Fiend at Super Showdown. Do comment and like. I've tried to keep this as short as possible and as snappy as possible. Do comment and like. Do let us know what you think. Do you think that the Fiend will go over Goldberg? Do you think Goldberg will go over the Fiend? What do you think of my reasoning? Don't forget to check out the channel. These are the Wrestling Thoughts series that I'm doing. We've obviously got a history of wrestling stuff under Wrestling Rewind that me and Anthony do. Anthony also does a NXT UK thing with Ollie. We've also got some video game content. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. You can find some Gimme a Hull Yeah merch over at Redbubble. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, /Gimme a Hull Yeah. And if you want to support us on Patreon, you can do that as well. Thank you very much for listening, and don't forget to keep it gay. We will see you again really soon.